Hello, friends. How are you doing today? Welcome to this live stream. And in this program, we meet you every day and basically discuss about our own research and give you the data about the top 20 companies in your state. So, right now, we are actually taking a journey through the state of Haryana and identifying the top companies in the state of Haryana, which has the highest amount of influence, highest amount of revenue. Uh, they have the major influence of the on the development of the state. They are also having influence in terms of the job opportunities in that state, and some of these companies are global in nature, as you know. So. But being the global company doesn't mean that they will have the top position in that particular state, that they are number one. And by the way, friends, we are live, and this is live show, so I expect that you can ask questions, you can respond by giving your opinions on this. However, while doing research on the state of Haryana, we have come across various segments. So the segment wise hierarchy of the company is what we present. We present to you one company every day, and today we want to basically look at the segment. Now segment is the pharmaceutical, the pharmaceutical segment, where which is the number one company in that state. And pharmaceutical has become so important, especially after 2020, especially after the COVID era. And a lot of transformation has happened. A lot of new ideas have come up, lot of new ways of producing medicines and other healthcare services have come in a long way, in a very big way. And therefore this whole segment is exploding. There are new opportunities, there are new jobs creation happening, and therefore pharmaceutical is a very, very important sector. And Haryana being a small state as compared to other states, but yet there are this is a state in India, so there are millions of people living in this state, very large cities, and therefore the pharmaceutical business will be equally important here as well, because there are some Haryana is adjoining the national capital region of India, which is New Delhi. So a lot of influence of the forward-looking culture, and also there are a lot of people work in Delhi, live in Haryana, especially in the adjoining areas. So the quality of healthcare or the pharmacies which are required in the state of Haryana is really exceptional. So therefore important to basically look at the pharmaceutical segment in a very holistic manner. That is what we want to talk about, and which is the number one company. So let's go ahead and identify the number one company in the state of Haryana, and that is the Zydus Cadila. Zydus Cadila is the numero uno company, pharmaceutical company in that segment of pharmaceutical in the state of Haryana. Well, you know that Zydus Cadila is a company not headquartered out of Haryana, but they are headquartered out of Gujarat. But their medicines are very heavily consumed in the state of Haryana. Therefore, they are number one in terms of revenue. Most of the medicines that they produce are recommended by the doctors and purchased by the patient for their ailments, and these are medicines produced by Zydus Cadila. So we will discuss about Zydus Cadila in detail, why they are so much liked by people, what is so special that Zydus Cadila is doing, being a pharmaceutical giant. In fact, they have been able to do certain first things in the world globally. They have been among the first companies globally to do those things, but that necessarily does not mean that they will have the numero uno position in the state of Haryana. So let's proceed towards providing the information to you why Zydus Cadila is number one. First of all, Zydus plays a crucial role in the healthcare solutions and for the citizens of Haryana, for the citizens of the country who are living in a state of Haryana. Zydus plays a major role in providing the healthcare services in terms of medicines and other equipment in the state of Haryana. In fact, I will share more information about the pharmaceutical company, why they are different from the other manufacturing units. Although the pharmaceutical manufacturing companies like Zydus Cadila are pretty much like a manufacturing unit. However, that is where the similarity is there, and after that, beyond this, the similarity erodes. They cannot be compared with the manufacturing of cars or anything like that. So pharmaceutical is a very specialized field, and when we say that the in the state of Haryana, Zydus Cadila is providing many medicines, that means they are doing something right. Now let us look at the functioning of such companies. What is so different when it comes to manufacturing, comparing pharmaceutical company vis-a-vis any other manufacturing company. The first difference is the manufacturing units. In terms of availability of medicines, because in the end of the day, any pharmaceutical company also have to maintain some sort of warehouse, maintain certain levels of supply chain, and therefore they have to see the demand, and they have to also see that how quickly they can fulfill that demand. So considering all this, Zydus Cadila has actually created the infrastructure for manufacturing in the state of Haryana, so that there is no long supply chain across the landscape of India, because India is a very large nation, and if you have to ship the medicines from some other state into the state of Haryana, then it will take time, and probably that will create a situation where there is a bit of wastage in the whole shipment, because if the medicines are coming from somewhere else, then they will not reach in timely manner to this market, and in case the medicines are required urgently and the medicines are not available, then the price will go up. So in order to avoid all this, because ultimately availability has to be decided and supply chain has to be maintained, at the same time the cost has to be also controlled. So Zydus has actually implemented their manufacturing unit in the state of Haryana. There are many actually doing different manufacturing. However, there could be some specialized drugs which are quite expensive. They may come from some other core manufacturing plant. But for the generic medicines, there are plants which are put up in Haryana so that the production can be locally done, taking the locally available raw materials. They can be produced into medicines, and these medicines then can be supplied to the field in the market, especially around Haryana. So that means the supply chain is kind of local. There could be a combination of local and global, and Zydus has been able to create that infrastructure. And because they are investing in the state of Haryana, they are actually putting the manufacturing plants in the state of Haryana. They are able to do many things. They are not only becoming number one, they are able to reduce cost of medicine. They are also able to see that how they can send their medicines quickly to the people, etc. So things like that are being done by Zydus, and because of that they are number one, of course. So they have set up their manufacturing unit across Haryana. I will tell you the impact of this move subsequently, but let's proceed further and see what else Zydus Cadila has done which makes them so much loved by people of Haryana. By putting these plants, creating a local supply chain of the generic drugs, generic medicines, they are also contributing immensely to the state economy and also generating a lot of employment. We will talk about a little bit about the employment. The employment, which is when it is hired by employees, when they are hired by the pharmaceutical companies, they are of very specific skill sets. They are, of course, the pharmacist. They have to know the knowledge of various chemical compounds, and they also have to be trained in that area. So there are pharmaceutical college, there is a need for pharmaceutical degree course being available locally for the locals in Haryana. It shouldn't happen that the manufacturing plant is in Haryana, but then the skill sets are coming from some other state. So the first change is the implementation of college and education services when it comes to pharmaceutical courses, pharmacy courses. So there are 5-year pharmacy, especially very super specialized courses being offered in around NCR region, especially closer to Haryana or within Haryana. There are these courses which is producing skilled workforce to be employed by pharmaceutical company. And because the Zydus Cadila has invested in manufacturing units across Haryana, there are job opportunities being created for the local people of Haryana. So it's a very big impact. Second thing which makes them so special is the R&D. Now this is a very big part of any pharmaceutical company. Without the R&D, companies do not exist. This is where the difference between a normal manufacturing company starts to become very visible. If you compare a normal manufacturing unit to a pharmaceutical manufacturing unit, most of the medicines require constant research and development. Why? Because it's a nature basically the nature of viruses and bacteria or fungi which affects human and animal population, and they keep basically mutating. So if you basically use a drug to eradicate the disease in your body, virus will simply mutate and wait for its chance to come back. So the challenge for pharmaceutical company is to be ready when such a thing happens. Therefore, the nature of the drug keeps changing, and that change will not happen if there is no research and development. That means the research specialist in Zydus Cadila are thinking at least 6 months to 1 year ahead, and they are ready for any eventuality. What happens is that in case there is a disease which affect a certain area in the state of Haryana, the pharmaceutical company must be ready with that medicine. That means they have to do a lot of research, and this research requires creation of new formulas, synthesization of the medicine, testing, trials of these medicines, and then once research and development will require a lot of raw material being brought into the labs, and then after the research is done, these raw material or the ready product or wastage have to be disposed of. So the disposal of the waste or the specimens have to be done in an environmentally friendly manner. So the R&D division of any pharmaceutical company will be essential to the success, growth, and future of the company itself. Therefore, the success of Zydus Cadila largely depends on the amount of revenue they actually spend or the investment they make in the research and development. Now, R&D could be done centrally at one location, or it could be done locally, because many times the local issues, local diseases are different from the other places. Some diseases are mainly waterborne, specific to certain region. So it makes sense to sort of decentralize the R&D and keep running the organization, and that will also give you much more access to skilled labor doing research locally, and some of these medicines can be made global. So Zydus Cadila has actually created this ecosystem to ensure that their medicines are liked by people from Haryana, and therefore this is something which is great, and that is what makes them number one in the state of Haryana. Now we know that the Zydus Cadila is not the number one company in the country, but they are number one in Haryana. Now any pharmaceutical company, including Zydus Cadila, will have to maintain very high standards of quality measures across all processes, starting from research and development to manufacturing to distribution, even hiring people they have to ensure that they hire the best quality people across all levels, whether they are in the core areas like research, or they are in the administration, or they are in the sales, marketing. If people don't know what they are doing, then it will be very counterproductive for the growth of the company. So being the number one company, they are very, very specific. They have to take the best people across the entire value chain, and therefore there is a good opportunity for people, local people, especially skilled labor in the state of Haryana, to work for Zydus Cadila. And this is a very, very prestigious company. Pharmaceutical companies are in general very prestigious. Their manufacturing processes are very automated. Their research and development jobs are very high paying. Therefore, the Zydus Cadila has also emerged as one of the leading employer in the state of Haryana. And there are many manufacturing units, there are many R&D units, tremendous supply chain. That means a lot of sales support is there, distribution, warehousing. All of these processes are fully well decentralized but centralized across Haryana, and therefore there are controlled in a very efficient way, and therefore this is a good employer of manpower, especially locally in the state of Haryana. So friends, if you're looking for some sort of a job, if you're specialized in the pharmacy world, and if you think and if you're in Haryana, then this is one company that you should look at. At the same time, Zydus Cadila's medicines are liked by most of the people living in the state of Haryana. Therefore, if you want to set up a business division in partnership with Zydus Cadila, then this is one company you should always keep on your radar and see what you can do. So hopefully the information that I provided to you today is useful for you, whether you want to join them as a company or you want to strike a business deal. If you have any question, do write across and I will answer those questions diligently. Name of the program is Know the Top Companies in Your State, and I will meet you in the next one.